In today's video, I'm going to be reacting to some Saints trade rumors from Bill Barnwell, and he put out an article on ESPN suggesting some trade ideas for the draft day for all 32 teams, and he mentioned the Saints twice, so we're going to break down both sets of trade ideas, and without further ado, we're going to get to those trade ideas, but before we do, subscribe for our live draft coverage this Thursday. We're going to be live 30 minutes before the start of the NFL draft. It's going to be 6:30 Central Time, p.m., so please feel free to join us. Turn on your notifications. That way you do not miss a thing, and we will see you guys live on Wednesday afternoon and Thursday evening as well. So Bill Barnwell, to kind of set the scene here for this trade idea, here's what he threw out. He gave the New Orleans Saints the 5th overall selection, but the Chargers, you get a first-round pick, you get their second-round pick, and you also send offensive tackle Trevor Penning, who just 2 drafts ago the Saints selected in round 1. Now, in terms of what Bill Barnwell had to say about this trade, I want to share what his words or what his thoughts were because I think it helps add some context, but I'm just going to tell you guys right now, I'm not crazy about this trade idea. But here's what Barnwell had to say. If there's no market in the top 6 to move up for a quarterback, the Saints might be able to jump ahead of the line to grab their favorite tackle in this class. The Chargers don't have to trade down and could comfortably consider a wide receiver or tackle themselves at number 5. But they're also a team that could stand to add some extra draft capital. But so are the Saints, of course. So why would Mickey Loomis start trading down in round 1 now? Like, we all know there's a history of Mickey Loomis trading up and being aggressive with his draft day trades. So why stop now? Moving up would cost the Saints their second-round pick and the guy they thought was going to be their left tackle of the future in Trevor Penning, who looks and feels like he just needs a change of scenery after 2 disastrous seasons. Penning missed most of 2022 with an injury, and after starting 2023 on the left side, he was benched in week 6 and barely played the rest of the way. The Chargers already have Rashawn Slater locking down the left side of the line, but Penning could compete with Trey Pipkins at right tackle or serve as the swing option. So back to the trade idea, I just don't know if I'm jazzed about getting the 5th overall pick. Sure, that's awesome. Go get Joe Alt. That is an amazing pick. That is going to definitely help out the New Orleans Saints, and that's going to lead this offense to better production. But I'm also not crazy about having to wait over 140 picks to make another selection. Like, the Saints would give up their second-round pick. There is no third-round pick. There is no fourth-round selection. So you would have to wait till pick 150 all the way in the 5th round. I'm not interested in giving up capital in the 2nd round just to move up a handful of spots to get Joe Alt. I love the idea of Joe Alt, but I don't want to give away so many draft picks so that way I have to wait over 100 picks to make another selection. And I'm just going to say this hot take, I still believe in Trevor Penning. I think with good coaching and with the right utilization, he can be a good offensive tackle and a good left tackle. And when I say the utilization, I mean the development and how he's used and not asking him to do too much and understanding what his strengths and weaknesses are at this point in his career. He can still turn into a really nice piece for the offensive line. He has incredible size. He is a bully in the trenches. And on top of that, he can be a good player. But he got thrown to the wolves whenever he got started in the NFL. You always knew he was going to be a project. We always knew that he was a high attributes, high risk, high reward kind of player. But this is what happens when you throw him to the wolves. You got to have him be able to develop and, let him learn the speed of the NFL because it's very different than what it was at college for him. So do you believe in Trevor Penning? Just give me a believe or bust in the comments section. If you're with me and you agree with me, do not feel afraid to voice your opinions. But if you disagree, please feel free to rip me in the comments section. So coming up next, we got more buzz. The New Orleans Saints and the next trade rumor are going to be headed back into the top 10. I can't wait to share with you guys what that trade idea is from Bill Barnwell. But before we do, guys, the Pelicans, they made the postseason, so clap it up for our boys. If you want to go get some tickets to a Pels game throughout the playoffs, go download the Game Time app. You can get $20 off if you use our code CHATSPORTS. Now, in terms of some other things that Game Time offers, they also have comedy events. They also have concerts, live shows. You can get seats to LSU football this early in advance. I know that they're playing out in Vegas, and maybe you want to go get yourself some tickets. Download the Game Time app. You get $20 off. I know that's not a ton in terms of that massive price, but hey, $20 is $20. You can also go and get tickets to the New Orleans Saints if we don't know exactly their schedule, but we know their opponent, so you can buy tickets to. I know that for a fact I want to go to the Falcons game. If you're in that same boat, you can buy tickets to that game if you use our code CHATSPORTS to get $20 off. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS. That's code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. One more time, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download the Game Time app. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. So in this trade idea from Bill Barnwell, he had the New Orleans Saints receiving the number 9 overall pick and the number 75 overall pick getting into the third round. The Bears, you send them pick number 14 and a player that might be approaching bust status in Payton Turner, the edge rusher, who was a first-round pick back in 2021. Now, here's how the depth chart kind of shakes out right now in terms of the defensive line. And to be honest, I am all okay, and I am A-okay, and I'm all aboard trading away Payton Turner. I don't think that he has been a great player. I think that this is another situation like a Marcus Davenport. Didn't work out, not a good place for him to be, and it hurt his development, and he's just been injured, guys, and it's just been so bad to see that kind of thing derail his career, because even when he's played, there's been some nice, highlights, but at the end of the day, it just hasn't been exactly what you wanted. But here's what Bill Barnwell had to say. With Trevor Penning benched and Ryan Ramczyk's future uncertain because of injury, the Saints would be moving up to get ahead of the Jets at number 10 for an offensive tackle. The Bears would add another premium pick to the mix for their defense while taking a flyer on Payton Turner, a 2021 first-rounder who has played just 15 games over 3 seasons because of injuries. Now, there are some pros and cons to this idea of trading to number 9 specifically to go get Joe Alt. Will he even be available there? Like, I could totally see the Chargers going and taking Joe Alt. I could see somebody trading up to number 7, number 8 to go and get a Joe Alt. Like, that's my one concern. If you're going to do that trade specifically to get the Notre Dame left tackle, you got to be a little bit more aggressive, in my opinion, to get that player. However, the Saints do get a third-round pick. So even if you miss on Joe Alt, let's say you still go in Olu Fashanu. Let's say you still go with a Talisi Fuaga or whoever the New Orleans Saints value the most at this number 2 offensive tackle position. You can still get that in round 1, help and get some other talent in round 2, but then you can utilize the third round to fill more holes on the roster. So if this is the trade that went down, and if something like this were to go down where the Saints could get into the third round, this is exactly what I would want the Saints to do. Offensive tackle in round 1. My top 2 guys are Joe Alt and Olu Fashanu. And I really, really like Troy Fontenot. I think that he is an incredible player and extremely versatile. In round 2, I want to go pass catcher. I want to add some, little firepower to this offense. I'd love to go get a Malachi Corley or an Xavier Legette, a Keon Coleman, or even like a Jatavion Sanders, a Ben Sinnott. One of these guys that could be a good pass catcher, but also a really good threat in the red zone. I also, in round 3, would want to go offensive line, get like maybe an interior guy, maybe get some backup help for Eric McCoy, or just double up and get more offensive tackle help. And then a safety. I also like the idea of getting a safety like a Tyler Nubin or somebody really, really talented to just develop and play alongside Tyrann Mathieu. This is why I want a 3rd or a 4th round pick, because you can bring in a lot of really talented players that will be much, much better than the crop available in the 5th round at pick 150. I mean, it's half of the draft that you're missing out on. If you're picking at number 75, you're in the top half in the first 3 rounds. So that's what I'm saying. I really want the Saints to get into the 3rd or 4th round. But if you want New Orleans to make a draft day trade, sound off in the comments section. Just type yes or no down below. I want to hear what you guys have to say, and I'm going to be interacting with all of y'all down below. And one more friendly reminder, if you haven't already, do not forget to subscribe. We're going to have live draft coverage this Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. So please feel free to join us. We're going to be doing a bunch of giveaways, live pick-by-pick coverage. It's going to be a blast, and we're going to have a ton of fun doing it. I can't wait to see you there. Subscribe today, and y'all stay golden. We'll see you next time.